We are back on this 2009 Honda Pilot with a problem on the ABS module. It was a loose wire that gives the power to the little small fuse box under the hood. We got that fixed up. The second complaint was a rear windshield wiper doesn't work. Now here's the switch here. Now you can see the front works fine, but when you turn it on, the rear does not. So I'm in the on position. Let's go back. See, the windshield wiper does not move. The on looks actually good. I cannot hear the motor running, so it does not work. I'm going to turn the switch to off position now. My next step was I look at the diagram. It's kind of interesting that this motor has two relays, and they're kind of in series. These relays have a 3 legs, actually 5 legs instead of 4. So basically they provide power and ground. And when you turn the switch to on position, I'm not exactly sure what module is supposed to turn the relays, but let's look at the diagram real quick. And so the diagram, we can see these 2 relays, and we got fuse 13 that sends the power to a control side and a load side of the relay. However, you can see there's a ground also that provides through this relay. Each relay has the ground and the power, so depends on what position you turn your switch, you know, this relay is going to move. And MICU, it's the module actually that controls these relays. So actually the way this works, you can see the motor, you know, does not have a power and ground, anything like that. It just has power and a ground coming from both of these relays. And like if we have relay, this like a relay 1 in on position, it's going to provide a power, and then you get a ground straight from the relay 2. And now when this relay is on, then this one has ground. So this one provides the ground, and this one provides the power. And I think the reason is because the way this gearbox is designed is that in order for relay arm to move up and down, the motor has to change the polarity to turn left or right. It's kind of like a window motor. And then you can see here, down here, it's basically a switch, and the switch, all it does is sends the command to this module to turn these relays. So the next thing I did, I went to this fuse box. So this is the fuse box that was powered by that small wire that was loose before, and I was thinking once I fix the wire everything's going to be okay, but it does not. It did not. So we're going to look at the fuse number 13 now, 10 amp fuse. So here's the fuse here. It's actually 15 amp. I have to change that. So these are 2 relays that provide a power and a ground to the motor. And I had my test light battery ground, and we got a power here. We don't have power here. I pull the relay out, fuse out, pull the fuse out, and you can see the fuse is indeed blowing. Okay, so we have a short somewhere. My next step was, well, I was thinking maybe it just kind of got overloaded or something, and so I put new fuse in. Woo! Boom! Right off. So we have a short to ground somewhere, direct short. And then my next step was I pulled these relays out. So I was thinking, is it the motor? But I said, I'm not sure, because the motor does, if it's shorted, the motor doesn't have power on ground. Everything comes from these 2 relays here. And so now I'm just going to put the fuse in the fuse box without these relays in and see if it's going to blow. Okay, let's check here. It's good. This side is good. So now without the relays in, the fuse did not blow. So let's go ahead, and the next thing I did, I took one of these relays, I put it in. This one is fine. Still okay. And take this and put in this slot. Fuse is still okay. I take this relay, boom, right away. So basically what we have, it's a shorted relay. I'm just going to actually grab 10 amp fuse. I'm going to put the fuse back in, and now, as you can see, these relays, they have this additional lag, so it can provide power and ground to the component. And now I have another relay, same one. It's on a different relay, but it's the same concept. So I'm going to put that in. Alright, and now as you know, the fuse, the switch is off, so the computer is not controlling any of these relays. So here good, and you're good here. So let's go ahead and turn the switch on. Put the switch to on position, and there you go. So the wiper is working now, everything is good. Our relay was shorted, and of course, you know, the computer controls the speed on the wiper motor. It's just the way it is, and that's it. Nothing else needs to be done to this one. I'm happy because this, I was thinking maybe it's the motor. It's like $130 just for the motor, and but it's interesting that relay is short. In my previous video, this wire here, it was loose, the wire that feeds the power to these fuse box. Could that have something to do with it? Maybe it was, you know, cutting the power and kind of damage the relay. I'm not exactly sure, but right now this is fixed, new relay and everything's fine, new fuse and everything's good. And that's where I found it. I was actually just by unplugging and plugging back in and see, you know, where my short was, and luckily it was right here on my fuse box. Alright, that's it, nothing else to it. Alright guys, see you next time. Thank you, bye bye.